Hello, beautiful, curious, and creatives. Welcome. Today is Monday, so let's make something. My inspiration for today's make is from one of my all-time, I want to say he is one of my top 3 favorite creatives and makers. He is a very talented artist. I love his style. He is a published author. I've been following him for a while, and there's never a time that I see something that he's made and shared that I just don't fall in love with it. And so today I am going to share with you my take on something that he's made, and I will link the video if I can of the make and definitely his channel, and his name is Mark Montano. Love everything he does. Huge inspiration for me, and that's where I am drawing from for today's make that I'm sharing with you. One of the reasons that I love this is because the supplies, I try to share with you things that you will be able to make with things that you have at home. So I am using paint. They are metallic paints and they're a little bit sheer. So I want to use this for my background. I have here, they're all from Chroma. This is aged bronze. This one is Xanadu gold. And this one is copper. So I will be using all 3 together. I also pulled out some alcohol inks. These all happen to be from Ranger. Okay, so this one is watermelon, pool, caramel, and patina. Okay, of course use the colors that you want. This is just what I'm working with because this is this is my vibe, the shades that I kind of draw from and I'm drawn to. So that's what I'm going with. But if you have other colors, please feel free to use them and mix them because the results are going to be gorgeous. We are going to need some Tyvek, and I try to use every bit of my supply, so I use some of this for whatever. This is what I have left, and this is what I am going to use. Then I have an applicator for my paint, and I have a skewer to roll my paper. And in case I didn't tell you, although you did see it in the beginning of the video, I'm sure we're gonna make some beautiful beads. So I am just going to apply paint on my Tyvek, and I'm going to use the white one as the white side as opposed to the one that has the print on it. If you have other more opaque paints, you could probably use the other side, but because these are not all that opaque, I'm going to use this side. And you saw how I applied the paint. I am going to start with the lighter color and just, give my paper some coverage. I'll pick the light color again here. Let me just move these, excuse me, out of the way because I think we are done with them. Notice that it's streaky, and that's okay. But if you prefer a more solid, coverage, then you can use fuller body paint that give you more coverage, or you can do multiple layers of the paint. And I'm okay if my colors mix. That's not, I'm not trying not to mix them. I just wanted to give some contrast. But I'm perfectly okay if they run into one another. I hope that you guys are doing well as we head into the second week of November. This is good for me. My intention was to give a background to my paper. This has to air dry, so it's going to be a little bit, I'm going to just let it sit on my table until it is air dried. I am not going to give it an assist like I normally do. So I will be back with you guys when this is dry. For you, it'll be in a couple of seconds. For me, it's going to be a bit. Don't put the heat onto this, and you'll see why as we continue with our project. So my background Tyvek is dry. It took about, I want to say 40 minutes or so, and it's ready for me to work on it. My paper is about 15 inches long, about 7 high. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut it to approximately 10, which will be right here, 10 long. And I do want to use it this way. Okay, so I'm going to cut it diagonally into strips, but you know, not quite triangles, I want to say, but like that. Okay, so we got 6 strips, which is great. I'm happy with that. They're not all the same sizes. This is a little wider, perfect. We fly by the seat of our pants. I'm going to grab my, I think I call this a skewer, but this is actually a chopstick. Not that it matters, but the only difference is that mine is not perfectly round, and I don't care about that. That's not a big deal. And I am going to roll my, my beads on this. I am going to apply a little bit of glue so it just stays a little better. We're going to roll, and I'm doing it a little snug, but not like super tight. I don't need to, it's a little slippery, sorry. It doesn't have to be super tight. I am going to apply glue here so this stays. And just hold it for a minute. While this one dries, I'm gonna roll another one. And while this one is drying, I'm gonna roll another one. So I rolled my 6 beads. I am going to cut this piece of paper as well, and I am just going to roll it also. Since I'm already doing this, you know, it just kind of makes sense. It makes sense to me. So the same way. Okay, this one goes like this. Okay, so we have 4 more pieces. I'm going to roll those, and then we'll work on all 10 beads. So our 10 beads are rolled. They are drying. I am going to just slide it back in the skewer. And to this, I am going to apply heat. I am going to show you what happens to this Tyvek when I apply the heat to it. I am using my embossing heat tool because I feel that it gives the most heat, and that is what's going to give us the texture on the bead. Okay, and I am going to do it until I feel that it looks good, as usual. All right, So I'm going to heat it, but I'm going to turn the volume down so you don't hear the all the noise. And of course, with the heat, you know, some of the Tyvek has come through. You see it underneath, and that's where our alcohol inks are going to come into play. And I am just going to add a little bit here, a little bit there to achieve whatever color I want. Throw in a little caramel here, just for contrast. That was a lot more than I thought. There is the first one. And this was just with 2 colors of the alcohol inks. Let's do another one. So back in the skewer. Let's let this one cool off. Let me continue to heat the others. I love the texture in all of them. The Tyvek has shriveled and curled and crunched up. So now we're just gonna add a little more color to them. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that only a little bit of that, you know, that white shows in there from the shrinking and shriveling, I wouldn't even think of putting alcohol inks on them. So what I am going to be doing is going to be very minimal because they got pretty good coverage, and I love, you know, how organic they look like this, but I don't want white showing. So that's really what I wanna concentrate on. This is the first one that we did. I love the way that looks. I'm gonna leave it like that and then just touch these up a little more. I also pulled out other colors. Sunshine Yellow, this is also Ranger. This is also Ranger. This is Indigo, and also Ranger Limeade, just to see what I get with different colors. And just see, play. You know, a little bit goes a long way, of course. Usually they run pretty well. So I'm not getting a lot of spreading on this one from this color, which is kind of interesting, and I'm wondering why. But that's okay. I'm just gonna do other touch-ups and then see if let's go with this one, if this one will run a little better, or maybe it's just the way that they've dried, or you know, the coverage or the heat. You know, it could be a lot of different things. I don't know. Okay, so this, sorry about the fingers, but you know, I'm very tactile. I do not wear gloves, so this is gonna be a little messy for me. Interesting, it kind of, you know, stuck where I applied it. So I want to work on blending that a little bit, or covering that dark, you know, patch of color there. So I'm going in with the caramel a little bit and just spreading some of that joy, just so this looks a little better blended and not, you know. Okay, and that is giving me the effect that I want. So I am happy about that. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is just stunning, stunning. You see it there? You're getting a little bit of that natural light from behind me, and I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna call this one done. I am going to see if maybe, actually, let me use the yellow because I think that indigo was nice, but it just kind of stayed in one spot, and that made me a little nervous. Okay, so this sunshine yellow is very subtle, which I like. See if you can see it there a little bit, right here. I am happy with that because that's, you know, like I said, it is subtle. Let me go in with a patina and just a touch and see if we get any kind of spreading. And it's not spreading all that much like, let's say, the first one did. So maybe it was the way I heated this one. You know, maybe I didn't heat it as much. It's not resisting the alcohol ink, but it's not spreading it so much. But the result is still gorgeous, gorgeous. And I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And I'm just gonna go for the white spots, you know, where the Tyvek sort of exposed itself a little during the heat process. And I'm gonna focus on those areas. And I think that does have something to do with it, because when it's, you know, for instance, you see this is, you can still see the white a little bit in there. Here it is in the sunlight. That's not a problem. I can put a little more, or I can just add some of the dark ink, which is the caramel. And the combination of both, I am sure, will give us some coverage here. And that's fine. I love it. Do a little dab down here. Or a lot of dab. Love it. So I'm gonna just continue with the other ones and cover those white spots. This one really needed minimal coverage with the alcohol ink. I'm gonna leave it like that. Let me just do a little here. I'm gonna leave it like that, but I'm gonna put more in there. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. Let's see, what else do we have here? I haven't used the red for any of these, so I'm going to give this a little touch with the red. A little of the caramel on the inks that I already applied. Oh, this is beautiful. It really is gorgeous. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice. This one is pretty perfect, I want to say. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the caramel. You know what? I don't even know why I'm saying that. I'm not going to do anything to this one. I think this one is so perfect the way it is. So I'm calling that done. And this may very well also be done. Yep. So I think I think it was the fact that I didn't overheat them, that they held their, you know, the paint and the coverage pretty well without exposing so much of the Tyvek. So that is definitely a win. Maybe a little yellow to this one with the red. I am happy with that. And the last one is this one. I don't want to be afraid of this indigo, so I'm going to try it on top of a little bit of the caramel and see if I get a bit of a different result. Because yeah, this is not moving so much, this indigo, for some reason. So let's just encourage it to move. Oh, actually, that is very beautiful. Oh, this has to be my favorite. This has definitely got to be my favorite. All right, so I'm going to let these dry. Yeah, this has that dark. I'm gonna let these dry. So give me a minute to clean this up, maybe wipe my fingers a little bit, see if some of this comes off. Close my inks, and I'll be back in a second. Now that they're dry, my next step is going to be to trim the ends. So I have a flat end so I can set an eyelet and finish the bead. So I'm going to trim the ends just so I can do that. I'm gonna pull some eyelets out and see what they're gonna look like as the finished project. So I have placed the eyelets on the beads just to make sure that I have a good fit, and I like the color combination. I've used different color eyelets. For each of them, I cut, I believe it was one of the beads in half. So there's some smaller ones here. Now what I'm going to do is, with a little bit of Fabri-Tac on each end, I am going to set the eyelets on each of the beads, and then I will come back and show you what our beads look like, and they are beautiful. Can't wait for you to see them. And here is a little close-up of the beads that we made today. I could not be happier with them. They are absolutely gorgeous. I am so grateful that you were here with me today, and I hope that you are inspired to try this or something similar to this. I am grateful to Mark Montano for his inspiration always. I hope that you are well, that you are safe, that you are thriving, and I hope that you know that you are loved. And I hope you're also getting a little bit of creative time during these busy days. We are so close to 200 and to our next giveaway, and a couple of these beads will definitely be included in that giveaway package. A last look at these beauties. If you try them, please tag me. I would love to see your spin on them. And again, go check out Mark's. They're a little different and very stunning, of course. I hope to see you again here next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.